Hey there, angry faithful. I just wanted to drop in, bend your ear a little bit, get your attention. So if you're not listening, drop what you're doing and pay attention to me because I'm here to inform you that not only can you get your daily, maybe if you're binging it, I'm not sure, that's entirely up to you, but you can multiply your doses of angry me fuckery by paying attention to all of the platforms upon which you can find either the dulcet tones of my voice and David's voice or my pretty face and David's not so pretty face. Anyways, digressing, we not only on we are on YouTube, we are on Spotify, we're on Rumble, we're on Google, Apple Podcast. We have a TikTok page. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and of course Facebook. So if you find yourself fuckery deprived, curl up with a nice hot mug of shut the fuck up and just listen. Open those ear holes and be prepared to be cream pied like it's the first time. Thanks for listening.
And welcome, Angry Faithful. Today, again, we're at O'Brien's Bar, and we're doing I think they call it like a swap cast. They have so much terminology for podcasts and everything. But I'm here with Cynthia Anderson, and we actually talked about this last week and last episode on my podcast that we were gonna do a dating one. The whole reason why I wanted to do it was when we were young and everything like that, like in our 20s and everything, the stuff that we didn't have.
I'm still young. 40 is the new 20. Don't care what you say. Dating still sucks.
Okay. And I've said dating does suck.
Worse now because now you have an extra 20 years of fucking bullshit that they went through before they found you.
That, and you end up getting like the bottom of the rung that nobody wants anymore, or didn't want to have to.
The millionaire who wants to hide you in his fucking house and give you everything you want so that you don't work and have any sort of public contact.
That's bad, but you go out, you have like, it's been like 3 years since you dated, you decided to date again, it doesn't matter who it is, you just go on a date. She ends up being in a wheelchair. She ends up telling you she just got out of jail because she was trafficking meth.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that would be why TABC is the Texas Liquor Police. We have our own alcohol police department. If you did not know and were not aware, that would be TABC. TSA, definitely, I've always wondered why they would feel up on them fucking people in the wheelchairs.
Yeah.
We made it past the 60 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, guys, I apologize. I do say that word a lot more than it actually happens in my life. Like, that might be why I say the word all the time.
I find new ones. Like shit pump. I got that from another podcast. He had a Canadian infantry woman on, and she used that all the time. And this shit pump here. I'm like, that's a new word, and I'm using it in my vocabulary. Thank you, ma'am.
It was so funny. I came in today, and I had to be mother hen and treat like a 60-something-year-old man like a first grader because of his inappropriate behavior. I don't know. Anyway, he asked if he was barred, and I was like, not if you can fucking act right. I was like, you work here, but if you can't act right, that means you can't fucking drink here. And then I sat down and was talking, and there was another customer here, and he goes, she hasn't said fuck in like 4 sentences. I'm surprised.
I'm used to it. It's
literally become like a filler word, but it fits. Like
there is one thing that panned out from one of the what you call it? What was it? It was if you're intelligent, you use curse words a lot. I'm like, I don't see it, but I do use, all kind of vernaculars just to describe. Because fuck's one of those words you can describe everything with.
Right.
Get that fucker over over there, and fuck that bitch over there, because she's a fucking cunt.
Right.
I mean, it's so they have a thing on Netflix on the invention of the curse word or something like that. I think Rob.
The internet,
What?
everyone up on the website.
What is it?
It's a documentary series of the Anyone's Up. They the guy invented a website where anyone could. It was an easy submission form. We would go on there and post nudes of their exes and all that. What ended up happening was he paid a hacker to hack into people who didn't send nudes out, that had pictures on their emails and whatever, to hack their phones and send the nudes onto the website without consent or anything. That's how they got them. The website was shit, but there's no legal obligation for them to do anything.
I was talking about curse words, but
Oh,
okay.
I thought you said the worst person on the internet.
Oh, well, we
No.
said fuck, and he went straight to
I had
people
my earbuds
illegally
in. Oops.
uploading nude photos.
I was like,
He's like, I know
where's
that
he going
website."
with this?
Oh, I heard,
Where's he going with this?
I heard word
This is.
for
I
word.
was like
Also-
I was totally into it though. I was like,
It's
I don't
on
know where he's
Netflix.
going with this, but I'm here. I thought he like produced the show or something like that, and I'm like, dude.
I watched
Those
it.
of you listening while driving, because they've had this situation before, please buckle your seatbelt, keep both hands on the wheel, and face forward while driving.
Fuck
Yeah.
no, crash your
Because
car.
this train's already gonna derail a couple of times. We don't need you derailing too.
Yeah.
Okay,
You know how many
right,
times?
right.
You know how many times it's for the last 2 years of doing this podcast, I've just driven off the rails every time, and there's sometimes I don't
We've
even know
done
where
it-
it's
we've done
how
it
to
with
get
me
back.
on there. We've done it with me on here.
Yeah, everybody's said the same thing. It's like, how do you have a subject, right? Yeah.
No.
Do you go with it? Sometimes.
Yeah, something.
I'm sorry, I misheard. I thought you were talking about the documentary on Netflix. Like,
But
Wrong documentary, bro. Wrong documentary.
yeah,
I
we
got
were
my-
talking
I
about
got
the
my
invention of the
earbuds
curse
in, I'm
word.
having a shit day,
We were
so I just-
talking about the word fuck.
No.
Yeah.
I heard,
What the fuck's up, Brent Maples?
What's going on, man? But dating back in the day, I mean, we were in the time frame beginning of email. And how many emails did you get to dating and everything? Because the Match wasn't in Match.com wasn't invented until like
Yeah,
2005
they
or
kicked me
something like
off
that.
of all of those immediately because the only reason I've ever tried to use those were to get people to come to the strip club because
Oh,
it
you're
was a
the
marketing-
one.
it was a
You're the
marketing
one. You're the
thing.
one that kept on spamming my stuff, and I
I
had
never spammed anybody. I never even got to that point before I got kicked off the platform.
no. Yeah, every one that I had to deal with and everything like that. Because I've gone through like spammers. I love spammers only because that's where I do my gold. Because I'll get like I literally had I guess is a texting yelling match with the cam girl. Oh, it was so funny because she was like, "Are you gonna come to the this site to verify blah 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 that you're of age and everything?" I'm like, "No, it just takes me to a porn site, and I just regularly use like RedTube or YouPorn or something like that, or a Pornhub, because that shit's free." But what about me? I was like, hey, I'm broke. You're not getting my money. And she literally is like, after that, she was like, well, you're a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. We're trying to save money? Actually, that should be like a positive if you're trying to get with somebody. You're trying to save money to, be in a safe and warming, healthy relationship. Secure, there we go. Of course,
So they also say that people who cuss a lot are very honest individuals.
I'm too honest. 'Cause
I
say
can't even lie to save my face. Like if my fucking mouth doesn't say it, my face says it. Like people have literally I've been at the bar because I'm a bartender, and people have looked at me and said, "Why did you just look at me like I'm fucking stupid?" I was like, "Oh shit, I said that out loud." No, I actually didn't, but my face definitely was that because that was the exact word for word thought that I had in my mind that he telekinetically or whatever heard, and I was like, well, the shoe fits.
Most of the time, I don't even talk.
I don't have
if,
to.
if I'm literally not saying anything because it's for your safety. It's one of those things because I had somebody, what was it? They're like, no, seriously, tell me the truth. I was like, all right, because I'll always do the whole thing. Do you want me to lie to you, or you want me to tell you the truth? Tell me the truth. And I tell them the truth. It's like, Jesus, that's what you think about me? I'm like, no, that's what I think about the situation. And you want to take it how you want to take it. It's no big deal. But if you want me to lie to you, I can tell you everything's going to be unicorns and rainbows. It's going to be awesome. Everything's going to be all right. Because I was talking to a person that just lost a parent, and they were like, how do you deal with this stuff? Oh, you don't. It's going to be scarred for a lifetime, especially, and they're like, why would you say that? I'm like, because it's happened to me. I've had a shitty life, and I still have moments to where it just fucking hurts. And they're like, but aren't you supposed to be, caring and everything like that? That is me caring. That's me caring because the basic fact of I'm letting you know you're gonna have to deal with it your own way. Everybody's different. Don't become a whore. After my mom passed, I fucked around. If there was a hole, I'd probably hit it.
My grandma passed 2 days later. I went and picked up all my shit and hadn't talked to my boyfriend in a couple months since then. I was like, yeah, I don't have time to deal with coping and your fucking shit. Goodbye.
Yeah. It's just
not today.
It's just one of those things. But I mean, is it a little bit easier? I mean, your profession. I mean, right now you're just doing a general manager of the bar, but your actual profession, being an adult entertainer, that's one thing that's always interested in me is how do adult entertainment workers actually date? Because I've heard like different things on like
it's so fucked up.
The people that work in the porn industry dating what they call a civilian that's not actually part of that kind of industry and everything like that. And I've gotten it to where they were like, I just want to come home and just have a nice relaxing evening and everything, and that's it.
Well, it's the same as like a firefighter, he goes and battles the fucking blazes, he's got dirt all over him. When he comes home, he wants to be clean and relaxed. Like, we want to do the same thing. We want to hang up our shoes in the fucking locker room and hope they don't get stolen, go home and forget about all this crazy shit that happened in our life that day. But it ends up being that, people see a lot of girls in domestic violence relationships or like with narcissists and stuff like that, and it's because it takes, first off, you can't be fucking weak and date an entertainer. You just can't. You have to be mentally and emotionally secure in yourself and your relationship in order to handle that line of work. And then still, I have literally watched, to me, it takes an alpha to attract me because I have simps knocking on my shit all the time. You know what I mean? So it takes somebody that's really strong and persistent as fuck to get any of my attention, which isn't good because, like, I mean, I've literally almost been killed by an ex-boyfriend because he was strong as fuck. Guy made like $28 an hour, was a contractor, was fucking amazing, and they think that they're okay with it, and they are, until they actually develop genuine feelings, which is about the 4-month mark. And then
you got it like down.
I'm dead serious, man. It's like and then they really weren't okay with it in the beginning. They just thought that eventually you would fall in love with them too, and you would want to give it up because you love them. It's not, they're never okay with it. They learn how to cope with it, but they're never genuinely okay with it. I watched a strong ass individual become weak as fuck, quit his job because he thought I was cheating on him, but I'm home all the time. Literally, if I'm not working, I'm at home. Same here. If I'm not working, I'm at home. I'm not out doing anything else, seeing anybody else. I don't even respond to people in my inbox unless it's business. Like, I don't. And that ended to where, like, he almost killed me. He literally broke in my house like 6 o'clock in the morning, a month after I blocked him on every sort of media outlet. I mean, if I blocked him, he'd just find a new one. And I had finally, the only thing he could get through me with was my email. And I just sent him to the spam folder. I just never saw it, so I wasn't attempted to reply to it. But I woke up one morning thinking my dog got out of the kennel, and there's this like 6'1" big ass motherfucking dude who I told to stay away from me standing in my hallway. My kids are home, and I'm like, this isn't gonna end well. And I just kind of was like, well, shit, we're sleeping. My kids are in my bed. I guess if you want to watch us fucking sleep until my kids go to school, more power to you. I don't even know why the fuck you're here, but I'm not gonna fight you to leave and wake my fucking kids up so they have a shitty day at school. Man, after my kids left, thank God I have 2 phones because I had hands around my throat and all sorts of crazy shit. I never pressed charges on him because,
Why not?
well, my uncle was the chief of police in town at the time, and if he came back, it wouldn't have been good for him. But if I had pressed charges on him, he probably would have sent a hitman. Like, he was fucking obsessed.
I've never got that that obsessiveness.
He literally
just-
didn't want me because I was a stripper. But he didn't want anybody else to have me either, so it was...
I never got that kind of narcissist. I really don't. It's like, I had the best example. I get it, kind of, because I did it myself. I was wanting to break up with this chick. She broke up with me first. I went over to my buddy's house. I was like, dude, she broke up with me. I can't believe it. I was like, dude, a week ago you were wanting to break up with her. Oh, yeah. That was the end of the subject. I just had to have somebody, like, help me realize that we were done.
Yeah.
It's just, I didn't take that step first.
Yeah, the
That was my
rejection
problem.
burns.
Yes. And after that, it was one of those things. It's like after, what was really sad is like at the time I was working corrections because I was like, she didn't get my time frame. I worked 12-hour shift in this heat in a basic Connex box for 12 hours, and I got home, showered, got my uniform ready for the next day, passed out. And after I woke up, probably around about 4 o'clock, and I had to leave probably around 5 o'clock just to get in, because technically I worked probably about 14 hours. Getting in and out, I added an extra 2 hours. She didn't get the fact that I needed those hours to cool down and get myself to deal with stupid people. Because that's what it is. You go to work, you deal with stupid people, both the officers and the inmates. She didn't get that. She kept on, was like, hey, could you go to the store and go do this? Can you go to this? Can it wait until I get off? Like, for, like, because I had, like, 4 days on, 4 days off. She didn't get the fact that, let's do it on the 4 days off. So he can, she was total narcissist. She ended up to the point to where she would literally tell me, it's like, well, I had this one boyfriend that did this for me. I had this one boyfriend that did this for me. And I was like, did you have any of them that had dealt with your fucking talking bullshit like this? I literally said that. I just, like, one day, I was like, why aren't you with those people? Why are you
tired of it?
I was like, why can't you can't differ. I mean, it was one of those moments, it was just the sex was really, really good.
Yeah, I think, well, at one point I actually, and maybe because of that, thought this guy was the one, and I quit dancing for like 2 months, and let me tell you, like, it had already gotten to that level of toxic, you know what I mean? That didn't even matter. If I was 15 minutes late getting home, he'd be like, what's that in your eyelash? Were you underneath the desk giving your boss a blowjob? I'm like, holy fuck, bro. Like, fuck this. I'm not gonna be broke and miserable. If you're gonna continue, like, if you're just gonna treat me like this, I'm fucking dancing, dude. I don't give a fuck. And I did. I went back to dancing.
It's really weird that, because I would do that joke, but I would be joking. I'm like, oh, your knees are messed up? Were you underneath the desk giving your boss a blowjob? I would expect you to say, didn't you do that like last week? Like, yeah, but he keeps on calling.
Yeah, crazy.
It really is. Now, when you're actually doing tours and everything, how does that act? How do you actually do that? Do you just do it like, I know a lot of like people that do that type of stuff, not as a adult entertainer, but people that travel for work, like comedians and everything. They just do like a weekends, and they're back home for like 4 to 5 days. Is that the same case, or do you do it the whole week?
Well, it all depends on the club that you're booked at, because they all have their own different thing. They all have their own different price settings that they pay. It all just depends on how the agent set it up. Sometimes, like when I do the West Virginia tour, which they haven't had us doing since COVID. They haven't had features there, but it was they owned 3 clubs, one in Princeton, one in Charleston, and one in Barboursville. And so we would go to Princeton the first night, we went to Charleston the first night, Princeton the second night, and Barboursville the third night. So it was still a 1 weekend tour, but it was a freaking hour and 20-minute drive between each destination that you had to unpack and reload. Here at Maximus, and both here and Victoria, they do 1 week. They do Monday through Saturday. We call it stripper boot camp because there's no other club that does a whole fucking week, 3 shows a night. It's a lot of work, a lot. And this is typically the first tour that they send anybody on. That's also why we call it stripper boot camp.
Oh, okay. Have you been to the one over by Omaha, Nebraska? There's one, I forget the name, but a buddy of mine used to manage it.
I think there's a guy named Buddha that manages a club out in Nebraska. Or maybe that's South Dakota. I don't know. I've been to 13 states, but most of them are like east or are Midwest, South, and then Southeast. Like I was Miss Exotic Wisconsin in 2017. I've been to New Orleans, Vegas, West Virginia, Iowa, Illinois, Michigan. I will never go back. That was not fun.
Iowa?
Michigan.
Oh, Michigan?
Fucking Battle Creek, Michigan.
Why was that horrible?
Well, they like to see who's published on the billboards and then watch you get into your car and then pull you over because they know the probability of you drinking and being a celebrity and then making...
Yeah, I had the same problem in
There was
Abilene.
like 5 of us who got DUIs and being followed straight from that club. And I have drank for 20-something years and I hadn't even drank that day. I was deliriously tired, and the customers started basically starting an indoor riot. Why'd you hire a feature that doesn't fucking drink? How do you plan on even making your money back? Blah, 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 blah. And they kept on going on every time I get on stage. Well, the last time, they had just ordered around, so I just went over and grabbed all 4 shots and fucking took them. I was like, fuck you, I drank your fucking alcohol. You done bitching now? And then I was like, let me out the back before y'all close. I don't want these creeps following me. They want me to go to the casino with them now that I drank their alcohol, and they're fucking weird. I'm not going anywhere with them, so let me out the back door. Well, my phone wasn't connecting, so my GPS wasn't connecting, and I just pulled out of there. I know I have about 10 minutes to drive, and then I'm going to be close to my turn for my hotel. Well, it had just started snowing out, and I did take those 4 shots. So I'm like, I have 10 minutes to get the fuck where I'm going anyway, you know? And, man, I'm used to drinking 4 to 8 shots an hour for an 8 to 10 hour shift, and still being completely functional.
Well,
You're not going to pass a breathalyzer with 4 shots, period, within an hour, probably for at least 5 hours, and they totally screwed the shit out of me.
I actually found out on the Failure Stop podcast. I was listening to that today, and they were talking about DUIs and everything like that. They said, in all reality, you should stop and you can't judge it yourself, but you should stop at 0.5 because you're coherent enough to know that you shouldn't drive. At 0.8, you start to believe that you can drive. That's the actual dangerous thing. And a lot of places are actually thinking about lowering the alcohol, what do you call it?
That's literally 1 drink an hour.
Yeah.
And you can pass. Literally 1 drink an hour. Do you know anybody that comes to a bar and drinks 1 drink an hour?
I do it because I don't like the hangovers, and I just ease into it. I stopped drinking that like that when it was early 30s. I couldn't. Very rarely do I even drink anymore.
If you drink more than 1 drink in an hour, it takes up to 5 hours for it to leave your system.
that was another thing that I was actually thinking about. See if I can actually get the stuff for here in town. Is an IV bar.
What is that?
They have them in Vegas. It's where you get like super drunk one night, and the next day you go to the IV bar, and they hook up an IV onto you, like one or two, boom, pepped up.
They have liquid IV in the Kool-Aid section of Walmart.
That doesn't work all the time.
It's a powder you put in your water. It's got all the man, that thing saved my life on my last tour down south.
Really?
I don't get hungover. If I drink one before I start drinking, and then drink one when I'm done drinking, and drink another one in the morning, I'm completely fine.
Yeah.
I might still be a little bit drunk, but I'm not hungover.
But the same thing, because I was talking to a couple of people when I was in the military. They were talking about Korea and the juice girls, where they get like a cutback from getting the guys to drink and everything like that. Is this the same thing here?
Well, we used to have a lot of clubs that would do what they did. They called ladies' drinks. Okay, when I first started dancing, mind you, dancing literally is modern day pimping. When I first started dancing at the age of 18, we got paid for all the liquor that we sold. So like the old school gangster guy who ran the bar, that was the first place I ever worked was actually in Florida. But when I came back home shortly, like 6 months later, I was working in a river city. And what that means is this is literally a village of 150 people on the state line. So yes, there's police within a 5-minute, but they're not from this state. They're from Iowa, so they don't have jurisdiction to go over to Illinois unless there's an emergency. Then the ambulances and stuff can go over there.
They don't have it like because
The
Yankton's a
closest
border
city
town.
is like 40 miles away. So unless there's highway patrol, it can take up to an hour for you to get a response.
Oh shit.
So it was pretty gangster. And like he would have plates of cocaine in the back. If you get too fucked up, he'd be like, bitch, go do a line, sell some more fucking liquor.
Jesus.
Like that's what I grew. Yes. There are not very many places like that anymore, thank God. But yeah, I mean that's the old school shit that some of these
Yeah, fuck that.
dive bar unregulated. There's definitely a difference between a strip club and a gentleman's club, and that would be one of the differences.
Oh, okay. They're more or less peddling the women like prostitutes.
Did the women peddle themselves? Are you fucking kidding? Like they're like, oh my God. Yeah, that's why I work at gentlemen's clubs, by the way.
But going back on the dating stuff and everything like that. So because the adult, from what you're saying, because of the adult entertainment that you do, you mainly use that to get people to go to your Oxford Foxtrot stuff and your other stuff, or do you?
Man, I haven't even been on there since like last July. I haven't had time for it. Like this is like, I mean, I've done a lot of work. When I first came here, everybody that came to this bar was like Uncle Daddy, white trash, hillbilly, think they're in an episode of Yellowstone because they live in Texas. Every word's a fucking fight word, and then we're gonna get so drunk we don't remember what the fuck we're doing. We're gonna beat up whoever fucking talks to us type shit. I'm telling you, it's taken a lot of mental, emotional, and physical work to get this place. And I had a conversation with one of the owners earlier today because I had a situation with a customer that's been here since the day damn place opened, and he's one of maybe 5 that still come here that were here before I came here, because I've kicked the rest of them out, literally all of them. And I'm like, this person used to have the Spotify password, and I went like 4 times to change the password, and he fucking keep getting it back. And I'm like, finally it made an entire bar full of people leave, because he'll turn it on, play one song, and fucking leave, and he deleted the whole queue. So then when that one song's over, the speakers start going really loud. Well, when it's in his fucking pocket and I'm disconnecting it and it keeps reconnecting it for 20 minutes, every couple minutes the damn speakers would start going cleaned out a whole bar full of people, and now he doesn't have the password anymore. So
There's
I'm
no
like,
2-step passwords on that?
Not if you have the app and it's logged in on your phone.
No, you can have it go. The way it was like all my stuff, there's always a 2-step process. You have to go through like.
Yeah, I don't know. That fight's over. I won.
Okay. But usually.
And now I don't remember the fucking password because I had to change it so many times. I'm like, I hope the computer never logs this out.
But so you're still doing the you're getting everything set up so you can actually start doing more traveling to do more gentlemen's clubs, I guess.
Yeah, I'm wanting to. I mean, I'm at the point where I don't really need to, but it's a good paid vacation. I literally get paid to go party and have fun. I travel all over the country and get paid to party and have fun.
See, that's one thing. Well, I'm kind of one of those people. I have a different style of fun because I do my archery. I go out hunt soon as September hits up. Why is it?
I think I just accidentally. That's all right.
No, it was going red, so you can just record again. Yes.
Yeah, I can merge them when I actually create the episode.
Yeah. But no, I have different. That's the reason why I don't like going.
But
to
I have
bars.
security.
Yeah.
None of the I have a contract. I have my own dressing room. I don't have to deal with the catty BS that dressing room saga has every night. Like, I have security. I have the option. If I want to do private dances, I can, but I don't have to. And I'm already getting paid and making a couple $100 every time my foot hits the stage. So unless the person's treating me right or paying me right, I'm not fucking doing it.
Okay.
So it's literally theater. And how we were talking last time about for a lot of entertainers, if they last in the industry, because not a lot of girls last in the industry. It either washes them up, eats them out, you know what I mean, because of them having to use coping mechanisms to deal, or they grow through that downfall and it's a therapeutic thing for them. Like, a lot of them have been molested or stuff has been done to their body that they didn't have consensual stuff, and now they have the power to, no matter how much I turn you on, you're going to keep throwing your money at me, and if you touch me in a way I don't want, this bouncer's going to beat the fuck out of you.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing as what we were talking about last time about the BDSM stuff.
Right.
It's sometimes it's taking back control, and it is hard to take back control with a lot of stuff, especially with anything that's abusive to your body or your mind. But it's...
And I never really thought about it, but one of my big things is, like, I do a hot for teacher, and I have the paddle, except for instead of me paddling people, I let them paddle me. And I'm like, is your dick small? Like, because your muscles obviously are. Like, I can't even feel that. What are you doing? I got beat a lot when I was a kid, so I don't know if that's another form of, like, I have the power type thing.
Yeah.
Because I've literally had these paddles broken on me, but I also had that as a child, so it's not. But this is like me. I'm getting paid to get beat now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not just getting beat because my dad's a dick. Like, I'm getting paid to fucking do it. And I'm like, and I'm like, you conditioned me to be a fucking stripper. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, not the beating part, but the other shit. Like, I mean, I'm fucking really good at my job. That's why I'm internationally recognized.
Yeah.
Thank you, Daddy.
That was that was awkward and weird. No, like they had one that she was talking about that had like rhinestones on a ping pong paddle. I was like, what?
Dude, I had a motorcycle club that they had a leather worker that carved their clubhouse logo out, and so whenever I went to their place to do, that's what they hit me with. So when I would get done, I would just have a bunch of their fucking logo all over my head.
At least it's not permanent.
Right?
But another thing is what happens when you decide when you actually want to stop doing it? Because I know some people, they go into like
Here's the
50s.
thing. I mean, so that's, if you make it until you are considered retirement age, that's when your big money's gonna come in. Because that's when you've been in the profession long enough, Like that's literally when most of these girls end up being showgirls and end up getting agents and end up getting contracts and booked by clubs to come be headliners. There's a real big fetish of men wanting older women, especially the men that come into places like that, because they don't want to feel like they're predators. And you go in and you have the option to dance with a 40-year-old woman that's only 20 years younger than you, or dance with a 21-year-old woman that's 40 years younger than you. You're gonna pick the 40-year-old woman.
See, I never even thought about that. It was just one of those things that you just you look at and you see how far they actually go on stuff, and then they actually do 100 times better at that stuff. I just never even thought about that.
Yeah, and I didn't even think about it until I started realizing that most of the features are, they're OGs. They've been in it. They've been seasoned. They know the business. They know the business enough to know how to handle themselves professionally. They don't have to worry about you getting drunk and beating up the whole fucking dressing room because you're mad about some customer for the night. And a lot of women, they don't make it until they're older for a couple reasons. One, it becomes something you're just sick of dealing with. Two, it takes a major toll on your body, a major toll. My neck's fucked up because I used to be the wild young entertainer that would get so fucked up and party so fucking hard and turn everybody up so much that I'd fell on my head off the fucking pole a couple times. My top 4 vertebrae are severed together, and I don't even know whether it's from rodeo or from dancing and falling on my fucking head, but I'm pretty sure it's from both. And part of it definitely from falling on my head, because I'm gonna get fucked up again tomorrow when I go back to work. So that pain's going away, you know what I mean? I don't need to go to the doctor. I can still move and function. I need to make money. Was the mental, back then. Now I'm like,
I had it when I was in the military. I pulled a lot of my groin muscle, but my ab muscles. It was a stupid thing. I thought he had I think it was close to about 500 pounds of equipment and everything, and I was pushing it off, and I had the handle and everything like that. He didn't have it, and I was still holding on to it, so I had to pull it back in. And yeah, I had strained over everything, and I went back to work the next day. I just popped a couple of ibuprofens, and that was good.
Well, everybody thinks it's so cool when the stripper flips upside down on the pole. I did that one day and rolled a rib and perforated my fucking lung.
Damn.
And every 4th breath that I would take, I would start going into a coughing fit because I couldn't fucking breathe. And I was like, fuck it, I ain't taking off of work. This just means we need to hang out in the champagne room because I can't go on stage. I'm in pain. Get me drunk and let's have fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess maybe a lot of that comes from my upbringing and being a farmer's granddaughter and constantly, watching my grandpa. He's fucked up and the conveyor belts broke down. He don't care. He's going to grab 5-gallon buckets to feed 100 head of cow. I don't know if it's that part or if, I'm sure part of it has to do with how I'm raised, but I'm just a go-getter. It's not, everything in my life has always been mind over matter, and I'm better move out of my way. It's not gonna stop me, and if you're trying to, you better move.
I just like the saying that people ask me. It's are you tough? I'm like, well, I did hold a flashlight for my dad for when he was trying to work on a car. So, yeah.
Man, I helped my mom pull apart cars and rebuild them. She owned a construction company, and that's what I did on the weekends. Her dad owned a tree service, and if I got in trouble, I had to go deal with him on the weekends, picking up logs and stuff. I've always just been, my whole family is all business oriented. Everybody either is in law enforcement or they own a business. So,
yeah. That's like that now. My dad was prior military, and then he went to the sheriff's department and everything like that. We usually, I had anything wrong with the car, I had to fix it. It's hey, it's your car, fix it. And the only reason why I got rid of my 1978 Chevy Impala is because I forgot to tighten the fuel line tighter than it should, and the car kind of, went into bursting flames.
Yeah, so some of the crazy, I won't go anywhere in public with a stranger. So typically I would either be like, come to the club or come to this club because it's public.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to a stranger. I don't even go to a strange environment by myself, let alone with a stranger that the owner doesn't know me or security doesn't know me or somebody doesn't know me because, I mean, and I did this before anyway. Like, I try to or not draw attention because I'm not an average chick. I mean, I'm not the most beautiful person, but I have an energy and an aura about me that turns heads and draws attention.
You mean to tell
and
me-
whether it be positive or negative, I don't want attention. If I'm going out, it's because I want to enjoy an atmosphere that isn't the same atmosphere. I mean, there's sometimes, and it's funny because I used to.
Yeah, that's a train rolling by. I guess it's that time.
We don't want you
That's
here.
typically our cue that we're almost out of time.
Yeah, that usually is the cue. Okay, I think he's done honking. No, you don't get into white vans for free tacos?
No.
Oh, it's a fun
We were just
ride.
talking last night because we had a black van that looked like one of those white vans parked outside of the strip club. I bartended at the strip club last night because they were short on staff.
Uh-huh.
And our dancers are like, that guy's creepy. And the security's like, fuck yeah, he is. He's driving one of those fucking white vans, except for it's black. Makes it even scarier. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I really don't date. You have to, like, make yourself known to me and hang out with me for quite a while before I ever voluntarily go anywhere. And typically I'm driving my own fucking car there because I've been in the industry for too long. I've seen too many people. You know, everybody's like, oh, let's get married. And it's like, you think that's the end all, the answer for everything? Like, you know how many married men, like, no, those are the fucking worst. Like, it's like, no.
I still like the little.
So trust is a big issue for me.
yeah.
And so I don't
I
really
still
date.
like the science experiment, I guess you would call it, because we had a Graham Central Station, and me and a buddy of mine, we tried to get women's numbers and everything throughout the night. Well, we both didn't wear wedding bands, and he was the one that told me this thing: if you wear a wedding band, it's more likely you actually pick up a number and pick up a woman. I was like, bullshit. We went up there, no wedding bands. I didn't pick up anything. He made maybe about one number and one check. Next night, it was exact night, we went to the pawn shop beforehand, got a couple of wedding gold bands, went up to the club. I got like 5 and he got like 15. I'm like, what the fuck? I just didn't get it.
Well, I guess it's safe for women to be that with men that are like that because they're already tied down and they don't have to worry about them wanting to swoop them off their feet or move
Yeah,
them in.
that was the
or-
conclusion of the whole thing. Was I just believe that they know it's gonna be safe, or it's one of those things is this person's already taken, someone actually cares about them and everything like that. Maybe I can get in on that stuff. I mean, a lot of the cases was that.
Yeah.
Because I get called one of the numbers, and I was like, "Hey, we met last night, blah blah blah," and I did it like an actual science experiment. It's like, hey, just like why did you give me your number? And she was like, "Well, you seem like a nice guy and everything like that, and I saw that someone literally verbatim. I saw that you were married, but you're still talking to me and everything like that, and I thought it was a safe approach and everything." I was like, "I'm not married." She's like, "What?" I was like, "No, I'm not married." "So you lied to me, blah, blah, blah." I was like, "No, I didn't lie to you. You just perceived that."
Shout out to DJ Cody Yarbrough in the house. What's up?
But I guess that's the end of the episode. You're going to have to splice that together somehow. And,
It just merges it by itself.
it does it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just drag and drop and then create episodes. Okay. I'm done with this whole something wanting to be in my ass shit. I have a bug down the back of my fucking head. I'm so glad I got this on video. Oh my god.
Hi.
This is fucking hilarious. She's literally chugging in her ass to get this goddamn bug. Oh my god.
I thought I felt something. Did you see me put my hand back there a minute ago?
I was like,
And then I was like, no, there's something biting my fucking ass right now. Last week it was tons of pieces of hard wood that then became moist before I pulled them out of my fucking ass. Because I sat out here on this picnic table
I think you might have to sand this thing down again or something.
and get a bug net for next week.
Yeah.
I was gonna pay for.
I'm going to chop this up and I'm gonna put it on the Angry Me
Blooper
fan
reel.
page on Facebook and on Instagram. You are gonna see her digging her ass trying to get that fucking bug. That is awesome. That is awesome. I got work I have to do now.
Great. This is your hostess of the night, the fucking bar manager of fucking.
O'Brien's digging her ass. But anyways, I'm David.
She's a stripper. Look, you can't take it out of her.
No, you know what's really sad is last episode when you were wearing the sports bra and everything. I was gonna tell you this off air, but fuck it, you know, I'll tell you now. I literally was looking at your chest and I was like hoping your tits would not fall out because they just looked like they're about to fucking fall out. I was like,
I had a good
don't
bra on.
don't you fucking do it.
That's
I was
what
like
those-
literally
that's what those
telling you.
push-up bras do. I am 40. That was definitely the bra.
I was literally, that was the only thing I was thinking. I was like, don't you fucking come out of here. Don't you stay in there.
They don't pay us enough to
Oh
edit.
my goodness.
Oh.
Well,
glad you don't actually
that
have an
wraps it
editor.
up.
We'll be
We are going to
flipping you
go
off
in
as
and enjoy
we
some
drop
open
in.
mic comedy. We have the podcast if you want to come listen live on the patio every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, or comedy. Open mic comedy starts at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time every Monday.
So that's it. I'm David Dickerman. Thank you all for listening. This is also Cynthia Anderson, and we are out of here.